The memorial service for Dr. Preston Harlan Carmichael III was held at the base of Camelback Mountain on a perfect 72-degree February morning, the kind of day that makes people from Ohio move to Arizona and immediately regret it. 500 of Scottsdale's finest filled the pews of the non-denominational chapel that looked like a Frank Lloyd Wright fever dream. Sandstone walls, glass that turned the desert sun gold, and a water feature that cost more than most people's houses. I sat in the front row wearing black Chanel and the exact same expression I'd worn for the last 31 years. Pleasant, unreadable, expensive. Preston had died 8 days earlier. Officially, accidental overdose of fentanyl-laced oxycodone. Unofficially, I knew better. Our son, Preston IV, we call him Ford, took the podium in a Tom Ford suit that cost more than the average Scottsdale mortgage payment. At 35, he already had his father's jawline and his father's talent for making people feel like they were the only person in the room when he needed something from them. "There's someone I need to thank," Ford said, voice cracking just enough to sound authentic. "Someone who was Dad's light when the rest of us were too busy to notice he was drowning." Every Botoxed forehead in the chapel swiveled in perfect synchronization toward the second row. Brittany Starr, yes, that was the name on her driver's license, stood up in a white linen sheath dress that was exactly 2 inches too short for a funeral and 2 shades too bright for mourning. 39 years old, former Miss Arizona runner-up, current wellness influencer with 1.2 million followers who called her Goddess Brit. She pressed one manicured hand to her heart and let a single tear travel down a cheekbone you could slice prosciutto on. "Brittany was the real heart of this family," Ford continued. "She saw Dad. She healed him. She loved him when the rest of us were distracted." I felt 500 pairs of eyes slide from Brittany to me and then quickly away, the way people look at roadkill and pretend they didn't. Ford stepped down. Brittany opened her arms. My son walked straight into them. That was the exact moment I decided Brittany wasn't leaving this zip code with a single cactus needle that belonged to me. The will reading was scheduled for the following Tuesday at the estate, Preston's estate. My estate, if the last 31 years had meant anything. The conference room at Snell and Wilmer smelled like lemon polish and desperation. Present, Ford, his wife Whitney, who live-streamed her smoothies, Brittany in head-to-toe Lululemon athleisure mourning, and me, wearing the same black Chanel suit because I believe in recycling when murder is involved. Preston's lawyer, Gordon Ellsworth, cleared his throat like he was about to announce the end of the world. "Preston updated his trust 6 months ago," Gordon said, sliding Mont Blanc reading glasses up a nose that had been broken in college and never quite set right. "Upon his death, the Paradise Valley residence, the commercial holdings, the brokerage accounts, and the classic car collection pass in their entirety to Ms. Brittany Michelle Starr." Brittany let out a delicate sob and clutched Ford's arm. Whitney immediately started filming it vertically for TikTok. Gordon continued, "To my wife, Caroline Elizabeth Carmichael, I leave the 2021 Range Rover, her personal jewelry, and the sum of $100,000. $100,000. The exact amount Preston spent every year maintaining Brittany's Porsche 911 and her content studio in the guest house. Ford didn't even look at me. He was too busy watching Brittany dab at her eyes with a Ernest scarf. I waited until Gordon finished. Then I reached into my Birkin, the crocodile one Preston bought me the year Brittany got breast implants, and removed a small velvet box. Inside was a flash drive on a gold chain. "Before we all start dividing the silver," I said, voice calm enough to land planes, "there's something you should hear." I'd had the tech guy at Best Buy transfer it to a format even Whitney's iPhone could play. I hit play. Preston's voice, raspy and terrified, filled the mahogany-paneled room. Recorded the night he died. Caroline, if you're hearing this, she got me. Brittany. She's been switching my pills for months. I found the real ones hidden in her yoga room inside a singing bowl. I confronted her tonight. She laughed. Said no one would believe the crazy old man over the wellness guru. Said by morning I'd be gone and she'd finally have what she deserved. Tell the kids I'm sorry I was weak. Tell the police to test the... The recording cut off with the sound of a glass breaking. Silence thick enough to choke on. Brittany went the color of non-fat oat milk. Ford looked like someone had punched him in the soul. Gordon recovered first. Mrs. Carmichael, do you have the original device?
It's in a safe deposit box, along with the pill bottle, the lab results showing fentanyl levels consistent with homicide, and the Nest camera footage of Brittany crushing something into Preston's scotch at 10:17 p.m. on February 3rd. I smiled, the way you smile when you've already won, and they just haven't realized it yet. Brittany stood up so fast her chair rolled back and hit the wall. This is insane! He was depressed! He mixed his own meds! Funny, I said. The toxicology report says the concentration was pharmaceutical grade, the kind you'd need a nursing license to obtain. Oh wait, you do have one of those, don't you? From that 9-month online program in 2019? She lunged for the flash drive. I moved it just out of reach. Security, Gordon said quietly into his phone. 2 Maricopa County deputies appeared within 4 minutes. Turns out, when you call ahead and mention probable homicide of a prominent surgeon, they move quickly. Brittany was still screaming, "This is elder abuse!" when they cuffed her. Ford tried to follow her out. I caught his sleeve. "Sit down, Preston Carmichael IV." He sat. I waited until the door closed behind the deputies. Then I opened the second folder. "New will," I said, sliding it across the table. Signed 2 days before he died, after the confrontation. Witnessed by his cardiologist and the night nurse at Scottsdale Osborne. Notarized. Filed with the court this morning. Ford opened it with shaking hands. Everything. Every last desert acre, every painting, every 1964 and a half Mustang reverted to the original 1993 trust. The one that left 80% to me, 10% to Ford, and 10% to the Preston H. Carmichael III Cardiac Research Wing at Mayo Clinic, Arizona. Brittany got nothing. Less than nothing. The guest house she'd already redecorated in sage green and gold was now owned by the Arizona Humane Society for a cat sanctuary. Ford looked up at me with wet eyes. "Mom, I didn't know." "You didn't want to know," I corrected gently. "There's a difference." He started to cry then. Big, ugly sobs like the little boy who used to hide in my closet during thunderstorms. I let him. Some lessons you have to feel in your bones. 3 months later, the house on Mummy Mountain sold to a tech couple from Seattle for $24 million. I kept the view and nothing else. I bought a smaller place in the Biltmore, mid-century, flat roof, walls of glass. The kind of house I wanted when I was 30 and Preston said modern architecture was tacky. Ford is in twice-weekly therapy. Whitney filed for divorce when the money dried up. Brittany took a plea. Manslaughter. 15 years at Perryville. Her Instagram is now run by the prison library. I teach a finance class at the community college on Tuesday nights. Women only. Mostly divorcees and widows who woke up one day and realized they signed everything away for love. I start every semester the same way. My name is Caroline Carmichael, I say, clicking to the first slide, a photo of me at 29 in a power suit standing outside Merrill Lynch. 30 years ago, I gave this up to become someone's wife. Today, I'm going to teach you how to never make that mistake. They laugh. Then they take notes like their lives depend on it. Because they do. Last week, I ran into Ford at Whole Foods. He was buying salmon and humility in equal measure. He hugged me without asking first, something he hasn't done since he was 12. "I'm proud of you, Mom," he whispered. I let him hold on an extra second. Then I paid for his groceries. Some habits die harder than husbands.